Welcome back to Scarlet and Maize. This is Zach.
Hey.
I'm Oral Roberts.
Funny.
Thanks.
I don't know.
You are?
Appalachian State.
That's so long ago. No one cares. Michigan beat Rutgers 71-62 and then lost to Illinois 93-85.
Wow.
I don't know. Not much to say.
Yeah.
They beat Rutgers. Illinois is the only team that Michigan hasn't beaten since Juwan was hired, which yesterday wouldn't have been a Juwan win, obviously. But
Yeah. I will say that it does seem, from my perspective, that whether they had Juwan or not, this is the way it would have gone, I feel like. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, the only thing that might be different is just maybe something would have been different with guarding Alfonso Plummer when he was going off. He had like 23 in the first half,
Wow.
which is just annoying.
Which is similar to what he did against
I
Ohio State.
suggested they send in Jace Howard just to hit him. They obviously didn't take that advice.
I love that idea. Like if a player's going off,
Thank you.
just send like your 12th man in there just to sock him in the face or something.
Like, so seriously, if he is at 12 points,
then you have that player deny. You're good.
Maybe I've been hating Brad Davison too much. Maybe Michigan needs a Brad Davison for situations like that, where you're like, look, this dude has 12. It doesn't look like he's stopping. Go twist his ankle. Get in his head. Elbow him in the ribs.
I wouldn't want to do a lasting injury. Twisting an ankle seems a little harsh. Just hit him in the face.
Sure. My point is,
give him
get in his head.
Back him down, and give him a good solid elbow. I make it look like it's a basketball play, but you're gonna get a flagrant either way.
Yeah. Maybe. I just got a good idea.
Okay.
Have a Krabenhoft come in, set a dirty screen, maybe give him a concussion.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
something
don't
not lasting.
Not
lasting.
Yeah, you want to give him.
Do something to get in his head at least.
You want to hurt him. Yeah.
Hope he starts missing shots because they didn't do anything dirty and it hurt them.
Yeah.
The Michigan difference. Wisconsin definitely would have done some shenanigans to try to get in his head.
Yeah, they actually did. I'm kidding. I don't know.
I was like, they hurt him? I don't know.
No.
It's not unbelievable.
Yeah.
Ohio State won at Illinois by 3 after trying their hardest to give it away.
Oh, I was getting so frustrated.
And then lost at Maryland to Fats Russell.
Yeah.
75-60. What do you got?
The Illinois game was a huge win. It was awesome to see Ohio State's 2 stars and E.J. Liddell and Branham go off for over 50 points combined. And I thought it was awesome. Illinois was razzing Liddell all game because Liddell was 2-time Mr. Basketball in Illinois and chose Ohio State, obviously, so they're bitter about that. They were saying some things that were maybe a little too far, according to E.J. Liddell and Chris Holman. But he hit a dagger fadeaway that you said was awesome, and that will most likely finish his career as 2-0 at Champaign, unless he surprisingly returns next year, but they'd beat him again if he did. Branham has had an incredible stretch. The 2 games before that and that Illinois game, those 3 games combined, he had 80 points on only 40 shots. That's an average of 2 points of every time he put the ball up.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not 100% from the field. He shot free throws and hit 3-pointers.
But still, that's very good.
He came down to earth a little bit against Maryland, having only 13 points, but he still led the Buckeyes in scoring. It was just all around. I think the fatigue got to him, like I said, and it was just bad shooting game, bad defensive game, just bad Buckeye basketball all around.
I should have asked this beforehand so that you'd have time to look it up if you didn't know, but is Branham showing up on any draft boards?
I saw one that had him 41, I think.
Ugh, that's comeback range.
Yeah.
That sucks. Hopefully he keeps climbing.
Yeah. I mean, if he does, good for him. If he comes back, good for us.
Yeah.
I'm fine either way. They got a decent recruiting class coming in next year, so I think Ohio State will just reload.
Yeah, be careful. That's what I said after last year for Michigan.
Yeah. I mean, they had one of the worst shooting games this season. That's a recipe to lose a game, especially when Fats Russell's just taking over the game like he did, 27 points. Yeah. Ohio State had my hopes up for a little bit with the shot at the Big Ten title, a share of it, especially after Purdue lost to Michigan State, and then they blew it against Maryland. Mm-hmm. Ohio State I will say they did a wonderful job against Kofi. I was going to look up how many points he had. I think he had 12. I was going to double check that, but then my internet was being weird. So they didn't get a chance to come back to that. And they beat Illinois despite Alfonso Plummer being 8 of 10 from 3. And I think he hit 6 of them in the first half. It was really a dominant second half from the Buckeyes. But then again, the Maryland game and the Illinois game, late in the second half, well, not late necessarily in the Maryland game, but in the second half, again, they had a long stretch where they didn't score, and it seems like I don't know the last time they didn't have a long stretch where they didn't score, and it just seems like they keep having these stints where they just go cold, and they really need to fix it.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
For you. But I also don't have anything to say because Michigan has those too. Coming up, packed weeks to end the season for Michigan and Ohio State.
The last week of the regular season.
And it ends with a bang. It ends with our first game in person together ever. That's exciting. Michigan, March 1st, plays Michigan State. And then on March 3rd, plays Iowa. Both of those are at home. And then they go to Columbus March 6th, which we are going to. Be a fun way to end the season.
It'd be interesting to think back, like, as a Michigan fan, with where Michigan was and Michigan State was at the time, and where they're at now. Would you have rather played them when it was originally scheduled? Or would you rather play them now when you don't have Juwan Howard but Michigan State's slumping as opposed to when Michigan State was hot?
I mean, Michigan State just won a big game too, but
yeah, I mean,
no, I would take it now because Michigan was they're inconsistent now. They're playing good and then bad and then good and then bad and then good and then bad. Before it was bad and bad and bad and bad. So no, I'd take it now, especially the home game now.
Yeah.
If it was at Michigan State, it would feel worse. Even though I won't go too much on it, I've still yet to see a game where Michigan gets some Chrysler calls.
Yeah.
Like it seems like officiating swings it towards Michigan. Where I've heard from a few non-Michigan fans about the Illinois game, just saying, "Oh man, they couldn't catch a break, and every call at the end seemed
maybe this will be the game, and then Michigan State fans can't complain about refs because they just complain about Michigan fans complaining about refs all the time."
It could be, but I mean, if there's anything we know about Michigan State fans, it's that they're honest and level-headed. So, I think Michigan probably needs to beat Iowa. I think they probably do beat Iowa, mainly since Michigan already won at Iowa.
Yeah.
To get in, I think Michigan needs one more of Michigan State or at Ohio State plus one in the Big Ten tournament. If not, they'd probably need 2 in the Big Ten tournament, I think, to get in.
Yeah.
So really what I'm saying is I think they need 3 more wins to get in. I also don't really see a UCLA-type run coming, so whatever.
Right.
Like, honestly, we've talked about that before.
But I mean,
don't really care about a streak or whatever. It wouldn't even be that big at this point. Who cares?
But, like, if any team was to do it that's on the bubble right now, I think Michigan would make the most sense to pull in UCLA just because of how talented they are, how talented their roster is.
The problem is, like, Caleb Houston is one of those so-called talented players, and he only does well at home.
Yeah.
So,
but maybe
the NIT, maybe, because he'll have some home games, possibly. But if you go to the NCAAs, he's going to play like garbage, and they're going to lose really quick.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think Michigan loses to the Spartans. Obviously, I think they lose to Ohio State. But I think they beat the Hawkeyes. Even though it's tough to beat a team twice, I just don't see them going 0-3 in this stretch. So, I mean, Michigan's, they're going to have to rely heavily, like you said, on a Big Ten tourney run for their NCAA tourney hopes, and then hope that teams outside of the bubble don't win their conference.
I'd like to propose a trade.
What?
How about this? You give me Nebraska, and I'll give you the Ohio State game. So Michigan plays Michigan State, Iowa, and Nebraska to end the year. Then they probably win 2, and then they make the tournament. And then so Ohio State plays Michigan State, Michigan, and then does a self-scrimmage. They're already in. They're fine. They don't need another game.
Yeah. I mean,
deal.
I mean, I'd take that all day to get another game to have some rest.
Yeah.
I think that was. I mean, there's no excuse to losing to a 15 seed, but I think part of the reason that they lost was because of the run they went on in the Big Ten tournament and made it to the Big Ten championship. Other than Kyle Young gets hurt and you played a lot of games in a row. I mean, I don't think they were a top 4 seed. I'd have to check that, but that's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 games in a row.
Here's all I know.
What they played.
And this is not taking a shot at Ohio State. This is not taking a shot at Michigan State, who also fairly recently lost to a 15 seed. It must be really embarrassing, like more embarrassing than maybe not making the tournament this year, to lose to a 15 seed in the first round.
I don't know if it's more embarrassing. I mean, obviously it's...
I mean, you don't always make the tournament.
Yeah.
But to make it and then to go in all cocky, we're going to make a run, we're going to the Final Four. Oral Roberts! That sucks.
I mean, Oral Roberts was good, dude.
Okay.
They were. They won another game to mid Sweet 16.
Sure did.
One of the best 16 teams in the country.
Yeah. Michigan is the only Big Ten team to make the last 4 Sweet 16s.
Wow.
Isn't that interesting?
Won't say that after this season.
Ohio State hosts Nebraska Tuesday night. And then Michigan State Thursday night. And then Michigan Sunday night.
All at home.
All at home.
Yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, I think they probably win at Nebraska or against Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think they're probably going to lose to Michigan State.
Yeah.
And then I can't say what if we went out because I can't say that every week.
Yeah.
But I feel like I can't pick against Michigan.
So 1-2.
Caleb Houston has his best road game as a Wolverine. Michigan pulls off the upset as Michigan gets the home whistle in Columbus. Plot twist!
How many neutral site games has Michigan had this year?
A few.
Has he been decent at those?
I don't even remember.
Hmm.
I've tried to block most of this season out of my memory already.
Maybe he's good at neutral site games.
This basketball season has been very similar to what I thought the football season was going to be like.
Wow.
Which I was like, not enjoying the start of the year. And then, whatever, we don't have to.
Yeah.
Big Ten champs!
Wait, yeah. That'd be cool. Ohio State realistically should and could go 3-0 in this stretch with all 3 games coming at home. And against teams that are playing in simple worse than them this year as a whole. But it is basketball and it's Big Ten basketball, and it's hard to go 3-0 in 5 days. And so I wouldn't be surprised if they went. I'd be more surprised if they went 3-0 than if they went 2-1 and lost to most likely Michigan State. But that is a huge game when it comes down to the 4 seed and the double bye. And I actually think the Buckeyes will pull it off and come to play and go 3-0 and get that extra day off.
How about this, Zach? If Ohio State goes 0-3, you have to shave your head bald.
Okay.
Deal. Shake on it.
What
Shake on it. Shake on it. Shake on it. Shake on it. 3, 2, 1. Shake it. Shake my hand.
What are you going to do if they go 3-0? You're going to eat 2 chips when I finally buy the other one?
If one of the... I had hoped you'd forgotten about that, to be honest.
I think about it all the time, and I'm like, oh, I don't have any money.
If one of the teams wasn't Nebraska, I would make a bet. But Nebraska's a freebie, and then it's just 2 games at home against 2 teams that have been inconsistent.
Yeah.
Big Ten thoughts? What do you got?
Surprisingly, I mean, you picked Purdue, I picked Illinois, and Wisconsin's got the lead right now, and they will lock up at least a share of the Big Ten with the win against Nebraska.
Sometimes the ball lies. That's all I can say about Wisconsin
and
winning it.
They could lock up the outright title just by beating Purdue tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow.
I think so.
That's my Big Ten thoughts. Surprisingly, I think Ohio State really needs to be a top 4 seed. I really hope they are, so they get that double bye.
My only Big Ten thought is that spring football practice has started, and Michigan is still the reigning Big Ten champs.
Cool.
Tweet of the week. Mine is from Clayton Safey. I don't know if I said it right. He doesn't watch this. No one cares. Since 2013, only Gonzaga, with 22, has more NCAA tournament wins than Michigan, 21. No other Big Ten team has more than 15. Michigan and the Zags are the only 2 teams to have made the last 4 Sweet 16s. Michigan basketball is made for March. So if Michigan can make the tournament, maybe I'm wrong and history is right, and they can go on a run, at least to the Sweet 16.
They're also the only 2 teams that have made the Sweet 16 in the last 4 years and not won a national championship.
Is that true?
I mean, they're the only two teams that have made the Sweet 16.
Yeah,
And they
I
also
guess so.
haven't had a
Yeah, okay.
national. They have. Neither of them have won a national championship. Is my point. So cool.
Michigan should leave the Big Ten and join Gonzaga's conference. What do you got?
That'd be an extra long travel for your guy, Caleb Houston there.
Yeah, but it would be real nice to play nobody and then nobody and then nobody.
Dude,
and then Gonzaga twice.
Are we not?
And that's it.
Are we not going to talk about that? The top 6 teams lost all in one day. That was
And
insane.
number 9.
And number 9. Who cares? Texas Tech sucks. Anyway.
First time. Texas Tech. I love that they beat Texas twice.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Take that, Chris Beard.
I mean, I think long term it's going to suck for Texas Tech, but
Yeah.
we'll get them this year.
Yeah. Tweet of the week.
Oh yeah, my tweet of the week is from actually the official Ohio State Hoops account. They tweeted at Malachi Branham has been making the most of every opportunity. # Team 123. # Go Bucks. And then it's a picture of Malachi Branham, and it says the only high major freshman with multiple 30-plus point games. And yeah, he's just been balling out.
I think he needs to bet on himself when the season ends and go pro.
Yeah, maybe.
With that, buy your
Punchkis.
punchkis at Quality Dairy. If you want to watch some wrestling, watch a Wisconsin game. We'll see you next week.
Go Buckeyes.
Hopefully after Michigan wins in Columbus. Go Blue.